Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Got a beer from the Czech Republic, bought from the find of the year for me. As much as I love craft beer, I got so excited when I found one of the more Eastern European style supermarkets, even though I hate using that term. Um, yeah, very excited about the big range of beers that they have, and you'll have seen by now just but a tiny selection of the beers available. So, going to the Czech Republic, and we're going over to the Pivovar Velké Popovice. Well, I know for a fact I've absolutely butchered that. And we've got the Kozel Černý, aka the Dark. So, it's a dark lager from the Czech Republic, clocking in at 3.9%, so quite a sessionable beer in a really nicely presented bottle. I absolutely love the artwork. You'd be almost forgiven as to think this was sort of along the lines of like a doppelbock with the imagery. But yeah, beautiful label. Hopefully I can get that off without destroying it. Nice label on the neck as well. And then it's got a really nice little crown also. So beautifully presented. And I think this was like 69 cents. So yeah, intriguing that I can find these beers for such low prices. And it shouldn't really be a shock because there's quite a vibrant immigrant community here where I'm living, especially from the sort of like the Baltic areas, we should say, and of course places like Czech Republic and Poland, and yeah, it's a really exciting prospect for someone who reviews beers. And yeah, so if I can try beers from places that I've wanted to visit and from breweries that I probably wouldn't be able to try unless I'd visited the country in question otherwise, then you get no complaints from me. So, without any further ado, let's get this beer opened and see what we get. Just realised I've been using my the bottle opener that actually destroys crowns, so it's a little bit warped, but not to worry. There are plenty of I think there are a couple more beers from this brewery at the supermarket, so I'll be able to get a nicely preserved bottle cap. But using this sort of like a jam jar smoothie sort of glass, which I've not used for such a long time, for whatever reason. So much so that I had to actually give it a clean because it was getting a little bit dusty. But anyway, let's see what we get with this then. And already I'm pouring this a little bit haphazardly. I apologise about that. And yeah, I'm going to stop that for now because I'm producing quite a sizable head. So beer poured with about 3 fingers worth of a slight khaki tan sort of head. Cat just decides to attack my jacket. Beer on a glass then, and that is a lovely ruby red, almost chestnut colour. Looks a lot more darker in this light, but when you hold it up to an actual light source, definitely a ruby red tone. Cat's going absolutely ape shit, so I'm guessing he's going to poo in a second. But yeah, you can see through it very slightly. It's got a nice amount of clarity to it. Not seeing too much in the terms of carbonation because of the lighting, but yeah, looks like a nice sort of a dunkel beer almost. That's what I would compare it to. And yeah, looks really nice actually when you hold it up to light. Get some nice cranberry tones in there as well. So let's see what we get on the aroma. Give it a bit of a swizzle. Oh, that's really quite sweet actually. It sort of reminds me of the sort of real ales that you'd get around Easter time. Yeah, it's very sweet actually. Really nice. You get really nice cinnamon tones in there. Sort of like a nice buttery biscuit aroma. A hint of ginger, a little bit of a nice sweet and spicy tone in there. Yeah, it reminds me of like a nice sweet biscuit, almost like a ginger nut biscuit. And sort of like a glazed, sort of like hot cross bun, almost. Yeah, very cakey, very dessert-like in the aroma. Was not expecting it to be this sweet, to be honest. You get maybe some slight cherry tones in there as well. But it's really nicely balanced. It's not overbearing in that sweetness. Yeah, it's got this sort of like really nice autumnal aroma to it. Off to a really good start so far. Let's give it a taste. Prost. Even though that's not Czech. Wow, that's really sweet. That is a really sweet dark beer. Almost getting like a sort of like a cheap home brand cola flavour in there as well. Really quite light, but not watery, which is a nice change for a beer of an ABV like that. It's got a bit more girth to it, if you will. Let's pour the rest in. Yeah, definitely like a medley of berries in there. A little bit of a spicy, hoppy tone on the back end. Doesn't finish too dry or anything like that. Very drinkable. You know, you get these sweet flavours in there, but it's not heavy or overpowering. It's really nicely balanced. Yeah, definitely get a cherry tone. Almost a slight Black Forest Gatto sort of flavour in there as well. Minus that like chocolatey sponge aspect. Because there's really no chocolatey tones in there. Just reminds me of like a really nice simple like cherry or berry cake. A little bit of a creamy aspect. Like a single cream almost. That's a lovely little beer. It really, really is. Some people might find it a little bit too sweet. I don't think it's to the point where it gets a bit sickly, but if you were to have 3 or 4 of these, then it probably would get a little bit sickly after a while. So you might not really want to session it too much. But yeah, a very nice dessert beer that has a sense of vibrancy to it. It's very drinkable, lovely crisp, light body to it. And I've got to say, I think I've had about 5 beers now from the supermarket. This has probably got to be the best one that I've had so far. And it's just such a nice, lovely surprise. It really, really is. You know, you'll get some people who will see this in their local supermarket or in their local like off-license or Eastern European sort of place, and they'll see the label and think, nah, it's just cheap tat, don't want to drink it. But yeah, I'm very, very pleasantly surprised by this one. That sweetness is so nice. It's such a nice aspect of the beer, and it's incorporated really beautifully within those other flavours. I mean, is it a mind-blowing beer? No, it's not. Don't get me wrong. Is it a beer that I would pick up again? Yeah, if I was in the mood for a desserty beer that wasn't like one of these obscene imperial stouts or porters. I want something a little bit lighter, a little bit more digestible, if you will, even though I've got no problem with a really nice imperial dessert porter or stout, don't get me wrong. But yeah, very pleasantly surprised by this beer. In terms of a rating, then, on the dark from Pivovar Velké Popovice, I'm going to give this one a very commendable 8 out of 10. It's presented beautifully, and thankfully the beer in the bottle itself is a really nice, drinkable beer. And I'll definitely be picking up more from this brewery. A real nice surprise. I can't stress how much of a nice surprise that beer is. So anyway, if you have tried it, then let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I know Dean has checked into this on Untapped. Not too sure if he's done a review of it, but if he has, the link is down below. Go subscribe to Dean, great guy. And if anybody else has reviewed it who I follow or here on YouTube, then of course their links are included. Check out the brewery if I can find the website and their social media. Check out my Czech beer playlist down below, and look out in the future for more Eastern European beers, because I've been really pleasantly surprised with this cheap, vast range of beers that I've now stumbled across. So yeah, I won't be running out of beer reviews anytime soon. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see thee later. Cheers.